It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Ravager Report. I am, as always, your host, Dorian, and with me tonight is the hallowed Hebrew Hammer. How you doing, Hebrew?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. So, how's your sickness doing?
It is better, but not gone. I don't think I'll cough much this episode, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I have just so everybody knows, I have warned him to grab a lozenge.
I can't help it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm dying, obviously.
Yeah, I'll share my week with that here in a little bit. But before we do, I just want to thank everybody and welcome you all that are listening live. If you are interested, you can listen to us. We do record live on Friday nights, starting sometime between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Discord, where you can come and join us at discord.me/Ravager Report. And if you happen to be a patron, you can listen to the uncut version. We do release the uncut version almost immediately following the show to our patrons at the $5 level. And if that's something that you'd be interested in, or if you'd just like to support the show, you can find us on patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we do have subscriptions starting at $2 going all the way up to $20. Before we get started this week, Hebrew, I got some exciting news, man. We got a couple of new patrons this week. Actually, one of them is a patron that joined last week, either like right before or possibly during the show, and that would be Sinister. And then today, another one of the members of my alliance is supporting us now, and that is Spider Han. So thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you enjoy what we do, and as always, feel free to leave us any comments or feedback. So Hebrew, that's a few people from my alliance now. Where are you at?
Oh, with my alliance?
Yeah.
I'm not in great standing with my alliance right now, so
Well, we may need to well, you know what? We can talk to my guys and see about bringing you over.
I'm not as much. It's more like I'm in the doghouse. My alliance still fans of me, but I messed up on an ult the other day where I didn't come in and complete, and I was the last person.
You're the reason you did 100.
Yeah, which is funny because the week before I was like, I like it when people show up whenever they. But to be fair, it was the first time. There's two things. That was the first time I've ever not completed anything. Been the reason why. And second of all, I mean, and this isn't like a great excuse, but like no one direct messaged me on Discord. Like if someone would have put like at Hebrew Hammer, like, hey, come finish it, I would have got it. But no one did that, so I wasn't able to see that. But either way, so yeah.
And the coughing begins. All right. So we're gonna have
coughing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna play Hebrew coughing bingo this week. So get out your bingo cards, check your timestamps when he coughs, put a dropper down. When you get the 5 in a row, you get a free 8-star Quake.
8-star Quake.
8-star
Quake. You just won the game. Yep. Congratulations.
And free 8 red star Quake.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna get copyrighted on that one. For anybody that listens to other content creators, there's another content creator that does that at the end of his shows. I kind of stole that one for that. So anyway, other than that, man, how was your week?
Week's been pretty quiet on the outside, just going through the normal stuff. I was trying to think of anything special that I did. Well, this isn't like super special, but I finally downloaded this game, Apex Legends, that's been blowing up on PlayStation, and I think it's on Xbox too.
Yeah, it's on Xbox. Well, it's on Xbox One. There is no Xbox 2.
Did I say Xbox? No. Oh, I meant Xbox as well.
It's gonna be one of them nights, Hebrew.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like Fortnite. But yeah, other than that, inside the game, been also going through the motions. Like I said, I kind of screwed up with my alliance the other day. I have some people mad at me. I apologize for any of my alliance members that are listening. Direct message me next time, please. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been a super quiet week for me. What about you?
Well, it's been kind of a tumultuous week in the Blade household. I have been sleeping on the couch since Monday. So
I always think you're in trouble. The first couple times whenever you said that, I'm like, oh, you did something bad.
I kind of lead into it specifically that way so that people go, uh-oh. Or, my God, what'd you do? It's been a week.
Yeah.
Holy crap, how bad did you screw up? No, my daughter has viral pneumonia. So she has been sleeping in my room so that my wife can monitor her breathing, and make sure that she sleeps up and everything. So it's been a really rough week for her. Guys, I got to tell you, no offense to any other wives out there, my wife's tops. That woman's a trooper, man. She is an absolute trooper. So the there's that. That's kind of out of game. In game, I'm sad to say that I have put a brief hiatus on my aim farming. When I was doing a self roster review after our show, and I was like prepping for what to work on next, and I noticed that, man, my Kree are really good. Like I've got a 7-star Ronin, a 7-star Oracle, 6-star Royal Guard, almost 7-star. It's just the 3 Noble, Reaper, and Cyborg that are only 5-star, and I'm like, man, with that rework coming up, I can't be behind the 8 ball again on another one. So, although I don't think the rework will be as massive as some of the other reworks that we've seen, simply because a lot of people have Kree at good levels just because they had to get them for Fury, but you never know. So I'm not going to take that chance, and I am just going to work on getting my Kree, and that's where that's been this week. I finally got Drax to 7-star, and I tell you what, that guy does some work because he's got 4 red stars on him. So he's kind of a monster. And then I blitzed again. So I decided to not go all in on Mantis, but decided to blitz and try to hit, top 10%. So I'm currently sitting at like 1.3 million, and I'm happy with that. I think I should be able to get top 10%. I should be able to hit 2 million by Sunday. So that's
you're overshooting like a good bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but the last few predictions have been a little low. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I like I said, I've hit 1.3, so I'm probably just going to slow down and do it just casually from here on out until Sunday. I'm going to save up for red stars.
Yeah, I would say 1.5 and you're safe.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. That's what I'm going to shoot for. I haven't even really started my climb too much. I'll wait until the last minute and then hate my life while I'm doing it.
Right. I tell you what, I'm at the point where I can auto up through like tier 3 or 4, and that makes life so much simpler.
Yeah, same. If you have a good blitz team set up and a good ladder climb, you can really get up there fairly easy. It's just whenever you hit that last tier, you're going through. It's just it's a nightmare. Especially defenders is such a pain. You see them everywhere.
You see them everywhere.
So many times I only get defenders teams out of like the 3 options. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to throw my phone through the wall today though, because I was on 8.3 and I fought a team I should have been able to beat, and it wound up the RNG went bad against me, and I was down to like 2 people against Spider-Man, and Spider-Man dodged like 3 times and killed both of them.
Oh yeah, I saw that on our group chat.
So I'm like, okay, fine. So I got punted to 8, and I'm like, fine. I took my defenders in to climb back up, and I was down to like JJ and Luke against another team of Spider-Man who dodged like 3 straight times and killed both of them. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm just so done blitzing for the day.
Do you force close or no?
I didn't do it in time because he so I was playing on 3X, and he responds almost immediately if he dodges.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, because like he was in the red, and I was like, okay, JJ will take him out.
Yeah.
Because she does a double punch.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
of course not.
well, that's it. So I dropped to tier 7, but you know, my biggest mistake was when I blitzed on the orbs Monday, I forgot to do the challenges for the Blitz Energy refresh. So when I went into Thursday for the initial climb, I didn't have that. I wasn't sitting at 500 to be able to recharge back. Otherwise, I'd be at like 2 million right now.
Yeah.
So that's just oof.
Has it ever crossed your mind to maybe go for top 15? Or no?
Top 15 for what?
For a blitz.
Oh God, no, man. I like my sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how. I mean, because you're on a good track so far. So.
Well, I mean, top 15. You for Mantis. My God, you're looking at what 6 or 7 million for that?
Oh, I'm talking about top 1500. I'm sorry.
Oh, top 1500. Okay,
yeah,
I'm like,
sorry. I know 15 is unreachable, so whenever I say 15, I meant like 1500.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. You know, I thought about it, but then I was like, man, I'd have to spend quarters to do it.
Yeah.
And while I think Mantis is going to be really good, I don't think it's worth spending those cores to do it. Even though I'm sitting right around 1,000 cores right now, 800 maybe, I'm spending them on something else, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, with that, is there anything else that? Oh, there was one other thing. Sorry, man. I guess I have had a busy week. So, yesterday, I was lucky enough to do a collaboration video with Valley Flying. So that should hopefully be out tomorrow. And we were talking about red stars because he heard our podcast about the math. So he wanted to go over that a bit more. So we talked about that. We talked about what they could do to make red stars more player friendly. We wanted to do like a 10-minute video, and I think uncut, it wound up being like 30 some minutes.
Of course.
Right. So, he's going to edit that and release it. I think the hope is he'll release it tomorrow, the 9th. And, so that'll be available. So you guys all be watching for Valley Flying. And if you'd like to be notified when that happens, you can come to our Discord, go to the bot command channel and type in, exclamation point, dash rank, space, I am Valley Flying fan. I've set up, some very popular content creators on our Discord, where we get their notifications automatically for when they make new posts, YouTube, and podcast, and you can get notified when that happens. So, just another way to stay in touch with the rest of the MSF community. So was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Hebrew?
No, I've had an incredibly boring life this past week, and you've had an amazing life this past week. That's the sum of this.
Well, then, so we're going to skip the data mine this week because when we were going over it, there really wasn't anything in the data mines that hadn't been like in-game mail or things that we didn't talk about last week. There really are things that nobody really, that we don't already know, such as the new events coming for Valentine's Day. So no data mine conversation this week, but boy, have we've got some stuff to talk about. So we are going to do the Alliance War Q&A. right after we talk about the disastrous rollout of the Share the Love event, Milestone. I mean,
Yeah.
Hebrew, what's Fox Next doing, man? I mean, what are they? Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that whole thing was just weird. I was just like, I don't know. I was like very confused as to why they were doing what they were doing. It seemed like they should have just waited until we knew that, or they knew that they were ready, and done it then. I mean, what's your opinion on it?
So, I think both parts of me. So, as you know, this is what I do for a living, right? I write software, I release software, I do web programming. Man, we got a pretty extensive Q&A process that goes through and checks and does regression checks so that whenever we add new functionality, it gets tested. And I don't know who their QA is or who just approves this, but they're flipping switches like they're madmen over there. I mean, it's like they're like Daredevil trying to read the switch sign. I mean, they just don't know what they just don't know what they're turning on. You know?
Yeah,
so
totally.
it was just, I mean, and this is a recurring pattern with Fox Next. And look, I'm in almost daily communication with some people over there, and they're good people. I just don't know what happened somewhere along the line that chain's being broken. Because I mean, this is like release 101. QA your shit.
How many times we've said that exact thing though? I just like realized it was deja vu. It was like we talk to some people every day, and they're great people, but what the hell's happening over there?
I feel like that's it. Look, when we do our docudrama on Fox Next, that's going to be the tagline. Great people, but what the F?
Yeah, exactly.
And look, I know they listen to this show. So, guys, you know, we love you individually, but as a whole, man, there's some dysfunctionality going on. Oof. Because what was it? It was 40,000 Red Star fragments per milestone. So that got removed. Then it was 40,000 Gold Orb fragments. Then it was just gone. After people started dropping cores, because look, if they were going to give out 40,000 Gold Orb frags, I'm dropping 500 a day. I'm pulling out my wallet. I mean, they want to make money off of me. Give me 40,000 frags as an alliance. So then, you know, and when I saw that they switched it over to the Gold Orb frags, I knew that was a mistake. I was like, okay, this is really supposed to be 40K gold.
Right, exactly.
And so, you know, so they wound up pulling it out. They fixed it. They dropped it back in, and it is in its current state. Now, I did some math on it. You do get 720,000 gold for all the tiers, so that's really nice. And you can hit tier 13 with just gold donations. So you get basically tier 13 for free, because if everybody in your alliance does 10,000 gold, you're guaranteed to hit that third box. That third box gives you your 10,000 gold back, plus you'll hit a milestone a day. That's pretty good. Our alliance, some of us are coring, and that's where I'm putting in. That's why I'm not coring for blitzing. I'm dropping 125 cores a day to help hit extra on the milestones, because we figure that with enough people doing it, we'll be able to hit like milestone 14, maybe 15. Because that's where it starts to get juicy. If you are able to hit all the tiers, you will get 9 3/4 Red Star orbs out of that. That's a pretty solid deal.
Yeah, I still don't like the fact that, because I knew going in that they were going to try to do something where, and this is just kind of their MO now, that once again they kind of started implementing the whole like, start paying, you know, to get the top end of the milestone. And I knew that it's basically right as soon as the free to play area ended, it was going to double in on the resource. I mean, on everything that you get, and it was going to be so much juicier. And that's exactly what happened. So,
the top 10 tiers are an orb and a half.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm like, what the hell?
it makes everything else that I've gathered in comparison to those last few tiers. I'm like, okay, well, this is nothing.
But
So
again,
yeah, I just
no, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, so I'm still not over the fact exactly that we're in this kind of pay to win milestone thing now. I just don't like that that's a thing. But I think that's probably just something I'm gonna have to get over at this point because that's what they do. So.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean,
what about you?
yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, you know. It's part of me. I don't mind people that pay getting an advantage, right? That's how that's how these games get funded. That's how this stuff goes. I mean, you got to have the paying players to fund the game, and they should get something for dropping money, right? And that's what they're doing with these cores. But I think what Foxnex is doing is absolutely horrid to the fact that tiers 1 through 12 are just identical. There's no ramp. There's no increase. It's 750k frags per milestone. Now, on the flip side of that, right? I'm trying to be positive. You know, you can hit a milestone a day just by donating 10,000 gold. So it's not like you have to really do anything to get. You don't have to do anything to get anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, those milestones really are free. You know, so I don't feel like, you know, you should be donating to Start Tech to the Alliance every day at a minimum the 10k gold. Everybody in your alliance should be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't feel that they should be getting extra Red Star orbs for doing what they were going to be doing every day. Those that go beyond, I like them getting some benefit. Now, I don't like the doubling and tripling. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I don't mind if someone or if they get more for pushing harder. I don't mind that at all. But the fact that like basically it makes mine look like pennies in comparison, I'm not a fan of. All of a sudden it goes over double, or it doubles up because we're getting 750, so it doubles up what I'm getting, and then all of a sudden it triples, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, so I got like nothing in comparison. Cool. But I understand the whole allowing people who push harder and actually put in some extra resources to get a bit more. That's why with the character milestones, I haven't been too upset about those, you know. But I don't know. With these ones, it just still kind of irks me a little bit that because once again, like you always see whenever they try something new that's more kind of pay to win, and then you're like, oh no, this means it's going to start coming a lot, and then sure enough, it does. And so I was just always kind of like, oh no, I see what they're doing here. Why are they doing this? And then now it's like the normal thing. So I'm still not quite over it yet, but I will be. Same thing with Red Stars, you know, kind of like I just have to adapt.
Yeah, it's either adapt or quit, right?
Exactly.
Ultimately, those are your two choices. So
yeah, and until Green Stars come out, I will not quit. So it's gonna.
So you're okay. So you're okay when they do white next, as long as it's not green.
Well, I'll quit on White Stars too. Any other colored star, I will not be around for anymore.
Well, Valley and I were talking about this on that video last night, and I actually brought up the fact that they're going to have to do something at some point after Red Stars. I mean, they're going to have to
another progression layer.
Yeah, there has to be a progression layer or some way of changing it up because my 7-star Punisher is identical to your 7-star Punisher. There's, if we both have the same gear level, right? At some point, they're going to have to introduce something to break it up so that there's, like in other games where they have mods or weapons or things that do different that provide different boosts of some type. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to do it at some point, and I'm afraid though that they're going to do just another layer of stars. Because the programming's already there and it's easy to just implement, and Red Stars are shown to make money.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly would have preferred a system like mods than Red Stars easily. So, I think red stars, the way that they were implemented, was terrible. I think that I would be okay with. I don't even want to say this because it's kind of accepting a reality where another star progression layer exists. But I the way that you get red stars is the biggest issue. I think we can all agree about that. And the ramp up, how hard it ramps up is also a problem.
Unfortunately,
But
2 months in, they're not. You're stuck with the power curve.
yeah, I still don't know why they never lowered that power curve because it's insane. But
Because it's incentive.
If they made another progression system that was just far better implemented than this, I would be okay with it. I mean, so like if they came out with white stars or something like that, and it was just a much better system on how you got it, I still don't want that to happen. Don't get me wrong, but if they came out with just a much better way to do another progression system later on, much later on, then I could be okay with it, depending on what they do. But if they just do another, basically like exactly how they rolled out red stars and then just did white stars or green stars or whatever, then no, I'm out. So, and I think they'll be a little more tactful on the way that they do whatever they do next time.
Really?
I honestly think so. I think because there was such a blowback, I think that they'll handle it with a little more grace next time. I could definitely be wrong, but
we might have to put a wager on that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just what I'd like to think, but it's the lies I tell myself to keep myself happy. I don't know.
Hebrew the optimist.
Not quite a super optimist, but yeah.
No, dude. You just said you think Fox Next is going to do something tactfully next time. That just puts you into the eternal optimism class.
More tactfully, not what I think people would generally describe as tactful, but more tactfully.
More tactfully. So they're only going to hit us with one stick, not two.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
They're going to break a bone. They're just going to do it less forcefully.
Exactly. It's like, right. You get it.
Yeah. So Captain Murdoch in chat may have the comment of the night so far. He goes, days after watching a Milestone event, I think they'll handle a little more tact next time.
No, I'll never trust them to like handle or to like put out things without glitches or bugs or something like that. That's just what they're gonna do forever.
I think what we're now seeing is you really are super sick because you've got the memory of a goldfish. Because you don't even remember how they handled not the red stars, but the thing that they did this week with the share the love. No communication. No communication. Just that's wrong. Let's fix it. That's wrong.
Well,
let's just remove it.
I'll always expect them to do bugs and glitches and crap like that. Like that's just who they are. That's embedded in them. Like I'll never expect anything different there.
Oh man.
But it's a problem. Just earlier we were talking about who do we think is running the company, and someone said Michael Scott, and I said I think it's more like the Bluth company.
Yep.
Arrested Development. That's how I feel how poorly it's run. But
there's always money in the banana stand.
Exactly.
And
because that would just burn this, and then there's always money for them somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, and that's what's sad about it. Because I was in contact with somebody this week who was talking about how they're now done buying red stars because they opened 34 orbs, and 31 of them were duplicates.
Yeah,
31.
I'm not surprised.
And I actually messaged him back, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how the math works out. Because the more you have, the more duplicates you're going to get. And so, that's what happens when you have double RNG. So he's like, yep, I'm done until they fix it. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I really just don't blame you. So, I mean, look, spend money if you want to spend money. And if you want to buy red stars, but just know that you're buying into a system of gambling that is not going to favor you at all. It's just not.
Yeah.
So.
Well, plus, I mean, that guy specifically, he's bought a lot of packs. He's bought.
Well, he said he'd bought them he'd bought packs every day since their release.
Yeah, so I mean, and unfortunately, that's the kind of situation you're going to run into because, I mean, 1 stars are going to be the biggest thing that drops, and or the most common thing to drop, 1 and 2 stars rather,
Yep.
and whenever you're spending that much, you're going to be getting more and more people, so you're going to be getting more and more duplicates more often. And so it's just kind of a situation that the more you get, the more duplicates you're going to get, and then you're feeding into the whole elite red star orb, which is just a joke. So,
Oh yeah, it is. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
But I go into a great detail on that with Valley, so I don't want to rehash that here.
Yeah. Plus we've
covered
about
it. We've covered.
Yeah.
We've covered. It's the biggest change to this game and one of the worst things that they've done, right? And it was the worst thing. Well, nightly gaming.
That was a stupid PR move.
That was pretty bad.
This was a game-breaking move. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. They are in different spectrums of, that was bad for this reason. That was bad for that reason. Okay, they were both equally bad for the game, but for different reasons. Yeah. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, other than that, though, I don't think there was any other news for the week. Do you have anything?
No, that was pretty much it. I mean, at least as far as macro stuff, important, big stuff.
Yeah. So I think with that, let's dive into the mailbag, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So on February 8th, 2019, the date that we were recording, they dropped a Q&A mailbag for the Alliance War Edition. So I am going to read the Q&A mailbag, and then we will discuss it point by point. How's that sound to you, Hebrew?
We are going to take it to, like, for instance, you're going to read the 12-hour time event.
And then we'll talk about that. Yep.
We'll talk about it.
Point by point. Okay, yeah. Yep, we're going to talk point by point. That way, that'll make it even more fun for when you do the timestamps.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't going to be like 30 minutes of reading this thing, and then we're going to go through point by point.
I don't know if I could do it. I mean, but let's not lie, man. I love to talk. I could easily do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say I would just go to sleep and tell you to wake me up whenever you're finished.
Look. If you need a filibuster, I'm the guy you call.
I'll remember that.
All right. So, all right. So here we go. Hello, Commander. We wrapped up our first round of external play tests for the upcoming Alliance War game mode, and we're happy to announce that it went very well. Around 200 players took part and provided a ton of great feedback. We're implementing the player suggestions into the next build of Alliance War, which will be used in our next set of external play tests. We want to give a big thank you to all the alliances that participated and shared their thoughts. Wakanda, Hydra, Pants of Hulk, Kaizen Warriors, Echoes of Infinity, Legion of Power, and the Ultimate Avengers. This week, we're doing a deep dive into the Alliance War gameplay details and answering questions posed by the players who took part in the playtest. Let's deep dive right in. Now, before we go any further, you and I talked before the show, because you know this. I am going to tell you I'm a little offended.
Why is that?
Because there was no thank you for content creators that participated in that.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yes, absolutely. I was wondering that whenever I was reading it, too.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, I mean, maybe there are other content creators that participated in this that I'm not aware of that are in those alliances. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, if content creators were to have participated in that, it would have been nice if they had gotten a shout out too. But
yeah.
Think I skirted the NDA on that one?
I think you kind of did.
So let's go into
read between the lines, I suppose.
Maybe. So I mean, that's a hypothetical, by the way. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay quiet on that one.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
So the 12-hour timer. The first big detail we want to focus on is the Alliance War cadence. During the playtest, each war lasted 12 hours. Oof. We received a great deal of feedback regarding the 12-hour timer, both after its announcement in the Alliance War blog and again after the playtest. Based on that feedback, we'll be adjusting the length of the war timer to 24 hours. Pause. Thank you. Just thank you for listening. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The current plan is to schedule war 2 or 3 days a week instead of daily. Oh, God, thank you. We'll likely try out several cadences in the first few seasons of war before we settle on a final schedule. I've got my hands up in the air going, thank you. Thank you. I'm golf clapping them right now. That's
Yeah.
I'm glad they announced that first. That was a huge thing for me.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the biggest things that I was concerned about as well, and the fact that it's only going to be at least for right now, and hopefully it stays at this for the most, a few days a week. So that the hour changing for sure, and that is just great. That's probably the biggest and most important additions / changes to the game.
Yeah, I think this one, and there's one towards the bottom as well that is just as big. So yeah, I think the 12-hour timer is just phenomenal. I'd like to see them do something like what Galaxy of Heroes does with Territory Wars, where you get 24 hours to set your defense. Then 24 hours to attack. So
yeah, the phases. Yeah,
I could do without the quote unquote preview phase, that Galaxy of Heroes does, because that makes each territory war a 3-day affair.
Right.
So it's 24 hours to join, 24 hours to set defense, 24 hours to attack. I could do the set defense and join in the same day. I don't think that would be outside the realm of your requests, but
yeah, I agree.
Even if they decide to do that, I'm okay with that too, because that's just a day you take off.
Yeah.
So
that's my approach to it. Yeah, if they did that, I wouldn't mind too. 'Cause it's just another day guaranteed to not have as a play day. So.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what types of cadences they'll do. Hopefully we'll start getting more alliance level events.
Mm-hmm.
So where we'll be able to do maybe Alliance Wars this week, and then some event another week, and rotate them back and forth or something. That would be nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
So let's see. Go wide or well-rounded rosters. So now on to gameplay. Alliance War is not like our other game modes where you only send one of your top squads into battle. Every hero counts. The wider your roster, the more strategies that will open up for you and your alliance. But there's no need to worry if your roster isn't as robust as others. You don't need to attack or defend with full teams, so anyone, regardless of how many characters you've unlocked and leveled up, can jump in and make an impact during a war. What do you think of that?
I'm happy with that because, I think that it's one of those things where just expanding rosters is good for the game. It makes everyone feel valuable, even ones that haven't received their rework yet, rather. But it doesn't particularly really screw you if you don't have them. That's one of the things I don't like about the raid is that some of them, if they just put on a particular node, it's some group that no one has, or hand leveled up or something like that, even though I have hand level up, but something very aim probably is the epitome of that. If you don't have aim leveled up or something, you can't do this node, so everyone's screwed basically. It's just on this, it's not like it's going to totally screw you, but it will benefit you a little bit more if you do have that team leveled up. So yeah, just more people that you have leveled up, the better, and I kind of generally like that approach.
Yeah, I do too, to an extent. It depends on how many teams they're gonna kind of quote unquote require you to have to be in game.
Yeah.
So I mean it's gonna depend, I think, on how many they wind up deciding on as a good number for people.
Yeah.
So alliance planning. This one bothers me. So coordinating with your alliance will be the key to victory. As we mentioned, characters can only be used once, either on attack or on defense. Alliances will need to evaluate their rosters, decide who will defend, who will attack, and which characters to use. In general, a player's total collection power is a good way to estimate how effective they'll be in war. So, that last line is complete and utter horse nonsense. Total collection power is not going to tell you jack squat, to be honest with you, because you could have a lot of power in non-quality teams, and just throwing out high-powered teams doesn't work. Otherwise, Arena would be just anybody. I mean, you could throw any 225 power team out there, And
it's not ideal, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah,
oh,
it's not
that's
ideal,
okay.
but it still does have some worth, I think.
To an extent, but I think making the statement of a player's total collection power is a good way to estimate how effective they'll be. To me, so the alliance planning and all of this is the worst thing that they have said in here, and it's probably by far the worst, because they still have not given us any tools in game to check rosters. Hell, they haven't even given us any tools out of game. They haven't even exposed an API. Look, guys, give an API. I'll donate my time. I will write a program to query that API so that alliances can query for users or query for squads, query for players, and get data out of that. We need something like that to effectively be able to do this.
Well, yeah, it'll certainly help. That's for sure. Because it's really going to require everyone to be very micro with all of your, if you're a captain or whatnot, to be very micro with every one of your people in your alliance, because you're going to have to check rosters for every single person, have them send in screenshots and things like that.
Or have them fill out a spreadsheet. Like what we do in our alliance is we fill out a spreadsheet, but you're trusting them to not fat finger something or to keep it updated. Like I haven't updated my spreadsheet. Sorry,
keeping
it
updated.
I haven't updated my spreadsheet in like 6 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of extra work that could be easily avoided. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I agree. They really should do something like that, like what they have with Swugga. So it would make
to be fair. To be fair, that website where everybody was using, they actually broke the API and were making indirect queries to the game servers using an encrypted key that they hacked out of the APK.
Well, let's do that.
So my fear is that that is entirely possible. You can decrypt their APK and go through it and try to figure out how they're communicating. My fear, though, is that they will realize that people are doing this and start banning accounts. Because you have to send a player ID to get their data.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, well, this person's querying X amount of time, or they're doing this specifically, or whatever. And so it's risky. And those guys I think they had backing from a pretty big company to do it. So...
But obviously they're okay with it, right? Because they haven't banned anyone for it, or have they?
No, they haven't. It's funny. I wrote one myself, and for Galaxy of Heroes, and I actually was talking with the makers of Galaxy of Heroes, who promised me there would never be, or there was not an API coming. And then 6 months later, after I shut down my website, there was an API. So anyway. I'm a little salty on that one, but actually, Galaxy of Heroes there's an API out there that you can hit to get this data directly from the game now, rather than having to go through websites and do parsing and scraping and stuff.
Well, yeah. So either way, though, for that game, there are many ways to do that, one way or another, and I wish that we really had that for here, because yes, as you were saying earlier, it would really, really help that. But as far as the actual thing is concerned, I think that it still shows a decent bit. I think the thing that kind of screws it up now is that you can really get really big numbers with red stars, especially now.
Right.
So that can really skew numbers even more so than it did before. I think before red stars came out, you could have a much better understanding of where power was coming from exactly, because there was only so high of a cap, but now it's very random, so it's going to be really hard to tell if someone just has a lot of red stars in one particular area or not. So, But anyways, that's just like the wording that they had there. It's not great.
No, it's not.
But yeah, I think that overall, the fact that, do you have a problem with them only being able to be used once, or are you okay with it?
I'm okay with that. And so I saw somebody ask this in chat, is it once per war or once per player? It's once per player. So if you set your defenders on defense, you can't use them for offense, but I can still use my defenders. Whatever you do with your team does not affect me, but you can only use your your players one time on either offense or defense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm okay with that.
I was explaining that because somebody in chat had asked.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Had asked about that, so I just wanted to make sure that was understood.
Yeah, and so yeah, I personally am okay with that, and I don't mind that at all. That makes sense to me. So the rest of that, like, I don't have an issue with. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. That was Shalastar. I hope I pronounced that properly. Shalastar. Shalister asked. Be used once. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't bother me at all. So then let's move on to setting defenses. In Alliance War, the best offense is a good defense. There are 12 rooms to defend in your helicarrier. Your alliance will need to decide where to place rooms in your helicarrier and how many characters from your roster will defend a room. If you choose not to place characters in a helicarrier room, a shield minion team will automatically guard it. You can place an entire team from your roster in the room, or place just a few characters to guard the room with the shield team. When deciding your defense, remember that the shield team has a default power of 13,000, not including start tech. What do you think about that? That they'll have default defenders in the room.
I mean, that's kind of, here nor there, just because it's 13,000, like, they're going to be paper, basically. So I think it's just going to be basically like the room is empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they are meat shields. They're still somebody that the opponent has to worry about.
Yeah, but they're 13,000. That's so
minuscule. But the shield.
Yeah, so all right, so they're basically like, I don't know,
they're like 30,000.
But yeah, so for me, it's just like basically like there's no one guarding the room. For early game players, which I'm not sure what level they're going to give access to or something like that, but earlier I could see that being a bigger benefit or problem depending on if you're attacking or defending. But yeah, other than that, it's basically for the rest of us at the top. It's just like, okay, like, whatever, I'll breeze through this. But the fact that their shield, they fill out the rest of the team with shield.
Yeah. So
like,
the way I read this is, I'm sorry.
I was saying, so you could have a pretty big shield team if you put, something, more shield people in from what you have, or put in Nick Fury or something like that. No one would ever do this, but I suppose then you would have a little bit of a decent shield team, I guess.
Yeah, that's or if you got a 30,000 K a monstrosity, you can just throw him behind a shield security and let him go to town.
Yeah, there's only one person that has a 30K shield.
And that guy is a forward-thinking, future-seeking person.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of any more positive adjectives to describe myself without coming across as a narcissist. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with this. I think it's fine. It is something that the opponent does have to worry about, and you can't, because it is shield, you can't just throw an 8K team against them and kind of trick your way through it. You're just not gonna be able to do that. So
yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, it keeps like just you throwing in absolute garbage that you haven't leveled up against them, I suppose. It's kind of a barrier for that.
Yeah. So room bonuses. Helicarrier rooms have positive and negative effect stat boosts, as well as different point values in war. Destroying certain rooms weaken teams across an entire enemy helicarrier, while destroying other rooms earn you more points. For example, eliminating the medbay wipes out a global health boost, while blowing up the bridge grants a team 250 points. Destroying these rooms can often be the key to victory. I'm okay with that. I like this. I like this mechanic versus what they do in Galaxy of Heroes Territory Wars, because it's just kind of a blanket buff to players. So I like where each room does something specific.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That actually is the thing that makes this game actually have some strategy in it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that personally. I don't like how I played a few territory wars in Star Wars, and I don't really remember anything particularly different about picking one way or another. It's just kind of I bulldoze my way through it, or
Yeah,
tried to.
yeah, it's pretty much what you do. You bulldoze your way through it. You couldn't have said it any better if you tried.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually really like that. It adds that strategy aspect. So don't ever say I don't say positive things about Fox Next, because guess what? I did it.
Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward though. And there is going to be strategy on how you're going to lay out your rooms, because you're going to have to worry about, because you're not going to be able to put all your important rooms behind everybody else. So, my fear is that though there will wind up being one really good strategy and everybody just adopts it, and then you just wind up getting a bunch of mirror matches. And that's really what happened with Galaxy and Territory Wars, was that everybody just kind of like, okay, well, this is really the way you kind of set for the best defense, and this is what you do. And then people started copying it, and it was like, okay, it's just a bunch of mirror matches. Everybody's going north. Everybody's going north.
Yeah, there might end up being an optimal strategy, but we'll see.
Yeah. So the heal mechanic. This mechanic has gone through many iterations based on player feedback. Opinions around the original mechanic were split almost down the middle. Some liked it and some didn't. This was mainly due to the concern about how heals were implemented, as it set a playstyle around having to wait around, constantly moving your entire team, and then jumping in fast enough to heal them so that they could survive the attack. Healing only helps characters that survived the battle, so you can't heal characters that were knocked out. We didn't like how this felt, but we did see a lot of opportunity for strategy based on alliances coordinating attacks to bring down strong enemy targets. We've adjusted the mechanics so you can boost the defense team before they get attacked. This should provide a better flow to defense, and will keep the coordination and strategy aspects around. So, I don't know how I feel about this. This mechanic, I'm one of those that reading through this, I don't like it. I think once a team's set, it should be set. You set it there. You shouldn't be able to just boost them, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So,
yeah, I think that. I mean, I'm glad that it's not the way that it was with. At one point with the you could basically just heal people as they were even being attacked. Kind of reminds me of in Pokemon Go, for anyone that plays Pokemon Go, whenever you have someone that's being battled in a gym, one of your Pokemon being battled in a gym, you could just start feeding them berries, and it gets super annoying because you just can't take them down because they'll just keep feeding them more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hate that. And so I'm really glad that that's no longer what it is here. But yeah, I completely agree that the fact that you still get to heal them at all after they're already set, I think is dumb. It's just like, who's got the deeper pocket at that point to heal?
Yeah, and that's really where it is, because I'm sure you're going to need heal tickets or whatever, and you're gonna have to buy those, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because that's what they do. I mean, that's just how they roll.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame that it will be kind of put into this who's got more money, it can get to the point, I should say, of who's got more money to back their teams, basically.
Yeah, and that's where I hate PvP and these types of games. That I just hate it, because it's not strategy at that point. It's just who has a deeper pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a fan of any heal feature on this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Star Wars does not have a heal feature.
No. Well, they tried some gimmicky things recently, but no, characters could self heal if it's in their kit.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go in and boost them. Like if you set, I'm sure if you set defenders on defense here, every time you go in to fight them, Iron Fist's passive is going to heal them at the start of every fight.
Yeah, but that's totally different. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't care if character mechanics come into play. That they should come into play.
Right.
But just straight up, click this to health boost them for 50 cores. Like that, I'm not a fan of.
Nope.
So that's dumb.
Yeah,
but
I would not like that either.
Hopefully they'll change it. There is still some time to change it, but knowing Fox Next and how much they love their money, something tells me that there'll always be something like that. Hopefully it caps off at some point, though, at least.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Let's see. War Store. And then just like Blitz, Arena, and Raids, War will also have a store with dedicated currency. You can purchase character shards that can only be found in the War Store, along with orange, purple, and blue gear materials. The store is still in discussion. It could see changes before going live, but this is where we are currently at with the War Store. Well, so you're nowhere. You're like every other store. This is where we currently are at. You've just described every store in your game. Okay, cool. So, fine, it's a store. Let me ask you this. What characters would you want to see in that War Store?
I want to see Black Widow in that War Store.
I think Black Widow would be a good one in that War Store. Obviously, I think because he gets boosts and is a Alliance War specific boosted character, I think seeing War Machine in there would be good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he probably will because he's meant to be kind of an Alliance War character. So I think he but then they still could keep him as a legendary, or not keep him as a legendary, but have him as a kind of exclusive character still because of that feature too. So I can see that going either way. But I certainly hope that they put him in there as a person to farm with the credits, but we'll see.
I honestly, considering this is Alliance Wars and it's all around the helicarrier, I'd like to see the named S.H.I.E.L.D. characters.
The named S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, so Hawkeye, Black Widow, Quake, Cap. Well, Quake's already in Arena. Cap.
Yeah, no, that would be fine with me. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I would like to see the S.H.I.E.L.D., all the rest of the S.H.I.E.L.D. minions in there. That would also be cool. And it'd be very helpful for me personally. So you guys should hop on that because this is, as we know, all about catering to me, of course.
Yes, that's why you are flowing with millions and millions of gold.
Yes, exactly.
million orbs.
But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest person though that I want to see in there is definitely Black Widow. She deserves to be open for everyone to get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a year, guys. It's time to, you realize that we're coming up on the year anniversary.
Yeah, and it kind of worries me that we know nothing about, if they're doing some kind of event or not for their anniversary. I know, like every other game I play has huge events for their birthdays, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't want them to have an event that revolves around spending money, basically.
Well, it'll be an event that revolves around spending money. Come on. Come on.
We're having an end of the year sale. Spend all of your money.
We're having our 1 year anniversary sale. You get 10% off everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, thanks, guys. Great. Except for cores. You're going to spend the same amount on cores.
Yeah.
So
I do like, I will say I do like the fact that also, it's going to have, more gear in it. Because having another place to farm some purple gear, especially, would be very nice. So.
For me, it's the orange gear, man. We have got to have another place to get some of that orange unique gear. My Daredevil's still sitting at one piece away from tier 13 because of orange uniques, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, I suppose I'm just right now I'll feel that crunch in a bit, but right now it's just T13 isn't a necessity. So I'm still worried about getting up so many. I have a fairly wide roster too, so this might be part of it. But like, I'm more concerned about getting everyone up to tier 12 right now. So I have so many people that I'm trying to keep constantly getting up to tier 12. I'm not too concerned about oranges right now, but you're right. I mean, going forward, that is going to need to be more important. I am not a fan of how ridiculously priced orange gear is everywhere that we can get it outside of raids. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's so dumb.
So yeah, I'm like, I just can't bring myself to buy orange gear whenever I still need purple gear and orange gear takes so much more to get. You know what I mean? As far as resources are concerned. So I'm not looking forward to having to dip into orange gear anyways. But and I'm sure it'll be ridiculously priced in the credits. So as far as the resource that they're using for the war store. On to the next.
Yeah. Q&A section. So below is a list of questions we received from the alliances involved in our most recent playtest. Once again, special thanks to the alliances Wakanda, Hydra, Pants of Hulk, Kaizen Warriors, Echoes of Infinity, Legion of Power, and the Ultimate Avengers for their help and feedback during the playtest. How long will the Alliance War season last? Will there be a milestone style similar to the raid season milestones? So just like raid seasons, they're looking at 2-week war seasons. They don't intend to have war milestones currently. That's a good thing. I hate milestones.
Yeah.
I think milestones are just dumb.
Well, I mean, I don't mind milestones because it gives us free stuff.
No, this is true. But, it's just... But wait. Whoa. However, there are milestones you do hate.
Well,
right?
yeah, I hate ones you have to pay a whole bunch of money for.
Okay. But you think people weren't paying to finish the Gamma 4 and we're getting extra milestones out of that?
Yeah, but at least I get something here. Like
you're all about the whiff 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Bonus points for knowing that one right off the bat.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm happy there aren't milestones. Like I said, I could do without milestones. Yeah, whatever. You're right. There is free stuff in the milestones. Yay, free stuff. But unless you're in an alliance, it's pushing or getting. It's a rich get richer scenario again. So, which is fine to an extent.
Yeah, just I think we both agree that people who spend should get more, right. But they just aren't well at balancing how much more is my issue, and that goes for pretty much everything extended throughout this game. But yeah, except for I guess the only exemption to that would probably be the deals and offers, just because they're always garbage no matter what, no matter how much you spend. You spend a whole bunch of money to get barely anything. So
yeah.
But milestones and rewards, those for sure are not balanced correctly.
Nope. Whoever designed their economics needs to go back to school. So first, maybe a suggestion really. Can we get a clear defenses button? So, to provide context to everyone here, setting up defenses is an important part of war and a major factor in strategy. One of the most common feedback notes we received was for a way for Alliance leader to clear defenses in rooms in order to change their defensive strategy, especially when a player is unavailable to log in and do it themselves. Thanks to the feedback received, we're looking into adding this quality of life feature into the mode soon. Yeah, okay. Just a quick way to remove everybody from a room.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, how long did it take to get the tiers listed for Blitz?
Yeah, but they're putting a lot into Alliance Wars, though. I mean, this mode has been in quote unquote in game since launch, right?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that it will be the anniversary. That we'll see it at the anniversary. Yeah. That is my suspicion. I have no inside knowledge on that at all. I don't know but my suspicion is we'll get it for that will be our anniversary event, Alliance Wars. Hooray!
Yeah, I mean, that's a good guess.
So the next one's really good. Are the strongest alliances getting the best rewards? So, regardless of your total collection or strongest team power, underdog alliances will have the same rewards for winning and losing as more powerful alliances do. There will be season rewards, but the bulk of the rewards will come from individual war earnings that can be spent in the war store. I like this. I do like this.
I'm actually a big fan. Yeah. The way that they did that is much better than what I thought was going to happen. And of course, I think that, at the end of the season rewards, I think that that's totally fine that, people get more for the higher that they, or, the higher rank that they are and everything. That's totally fine with me. And I understand that. But yeah, I just, the fact that everyone gets the same as far as winning and losing, I like that a lot. I think that's a really good thing. And I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, I am too. That was one of my biggest beefs. And I apologize. I know people don't like us comparing this to Galaxy of Heroes, but I mean, come on.
It's the best thing to compare it to.
It's the best thing to compare it to. The game was a direct ripoff of it.
Exactly.
I mean, in Alliance Wars is a direct ripoff of Territory Wars. I'm sorry. They're making some great changes to it. Don't get me wrong, but it's really the same thing. But I digress. One thing that I did not like about Territory Wars was that the reward payout depended upon the range of guild power that you had. So if your guild was in the 100 to 120 million range, you got lesser rewards than people in higher guilds. Now, part of their reasoning was people in higher guilds need more to grow their collections, whereas people in smaller guilds can kind of grow their collections at the same rate with the lesser rewards. I still wasn't a fan. I think it's some dodgy logic, but the fact that they're keeping the rewards even for wins and losses, no matter what, I think is a good thing. That means that if you get unfortunate enough, and I do mean unfortunate enough, to get paired up with Wakanda, and they're going to crush you.
Yeah.
You're at least going to know that, hey, they're not going to get much more than anybody else. So, ha ha ha.
Yeah, and that's actually brings me into exactly what I was going to say for my next thing was the thing that I am concerned about is matchmaking. I don't know how their matchmaking system will work and how closely they'll be able to pair you with people similar to your own power level, or alliance total power level. But that kind of concerns me a little bit. So we'll have to see, especially depending on what metric they use to compare alliances, because as we spoke about earlier, with if you look at like total collection power, the additive total collection power of everyone in your alliance, that can be incredibly misleading. So, yeah, I'm not sure how well that will work.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let's see. When is the full version of AW expected to go live? Soon, TM. This is our biggest addition to the game since worldwide launch, and we've been working hard to make this mode as fun as possible. Playtests like the ones we've had the past week are an important final step as we approach the launch of the mode. Almost there. Soon, TM.
Yeah, it's not funny, Fox Next, whenever you do the soon TM thing.
Yeah, it's been overdone. Yeah, it's been overdone. Nobody likes it. We don't find it cute. It's not funny.
Yeah.
We really
I don't think they fully understand, like, yeah, we do it to make fun of you because you're terribly bad at it.
We just want to find a deep, dark pit for the person typing soon TM and toss them in it for a few days.
Exactly.
Think about the bad life decisions you're making right now. So yeah, like I said, I think we'll see it for the anniversary, and I think come hell or high water, it'll be on the anniversary. I don't care if it's buggy as all crap or not. It will be with the anniversary.
Oh yeah, I don't think they do either. I think that you're right. I think it'll be on the anniversary.
They have a date. They have March 28th circled on their calendars, and that is the date that this is going live. So,
well, we think.
Well, yeah, right. You're right. We think. I mean, that's just me saying. Look, if I'm Fox Next, this is going live March 28th. Come hell or high water.
You just said it with such confidence and bravado. I don't want anyone thinking that it's a 100% thing.
That's fair. I'm not that guy. So, will defensive victories come into play when it comes to scoring? Great question. We did consider defensive scoring, but we found it discouraged players to attack because they did not want to give up points. We may see this come back in some form in a future version of War, but no plans at the moment. I'm kind of torn on this one. If there's no defensive scoring, then why should we bother setting anything on defense and just go straight to offense?
Well, because their offense will only make, they'll clear every room otherwise if you don't really set a defense. So
but so will you. You'll have a better chance.
That's if they decide to put no defense in.
No, I'm saying keep everybody for offense.
Mm-hmm.
right? So all 24 people keep everything for offense. You're going to have a better chance of clearing there because I promise you they are not going to have enough to set on defense.
I don't know. I mean, I think that it still would be. I think it's probably still a better strategy to put out some defense and go offense than just make everyone go offense.
Maybe. I mean, look, if you can go straight offense and clear every room, then does it
Mm-hmm.
matter if the other person does it too?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but the fact that we have. So if everyone did that, and let's just say they both cleared, right, and then it was a tie, we now know they're
Well,
both
yes,
just
we
going to
do
get
know how
pieces.
ties will be handled in the next question. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying your odds are better of clearing your opponent if you keep everything for offense at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. Because if someone can push it pretty far past your defense, or if you don't set up a defense or whatever and get some points, and then they still have a fairly good defense team set up, and you don't get as far as them, then I don't know.
Well,
I think
but
that. I
see,
think
the
that
problem
going
is-
pure offense. Go ahead.
I was going to say the problem with that, though, is that by setting a quote-unquote good defensive team, they're taking away their ability to attack. Because every team you set on defense, you cannot use for offense, which means that you're now stuck clearing rooms because you're not going to have enough teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then again, if I just bring in my shield team, right? If I just have my shield team for offense, I'm going to run through most of your stuff anyways.
No. You can only use it once, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's
So
right.
think about that, right? So let's say there's two teams per room, right? And let's say that there's there's currently 86 characters in the game. So let's say there's 40 rooms, okay? Two
Right.
teams per room. That requires what? 4 it's 400 people. That's too much. Shoot. Anyway, let's just say that to fill every room would require your entire roster.
Right.
Every team you set on defense, you cannot use to attack for offense, which means you're automatically giving up attacking a room on offense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I still think that having a defense will keep people from getting offensive points. But I understand what you mean whenever you say that, whenever you put someone on defense, that takes them away from offense. But I think that's just the kind of classic thing where you have to figure out what strategy is best.
yeah,
Because I mean, maybe a legitimate strategy might be just put everything on offense. But I think if you do that, you are for sure going to have the other person clear every single room and get all the points possible on their offense.
I'll tell you right
So-
now, I don't think that'll be possible.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I think that there is going to be an optimal strategy, and who knows, that might be it. So to have everyone on offense, that could be. And then I think if that happens, though, I think that hopefully they'll revisit the whole putting defensive points up. I do think I should have mentioned this first. I do think that having defensive points is good, though. Like, I wish that they would have put defensive points in.
Yeah.
I don't know why they meant that people were hesitant to attack otherwise, but whatever. I think that defensive points are good. But if we see what you were talking about happen, then hopefully they'll revisit that.
Yeah, and it could very well be that what they'll do is you get, like, if you go, let's say you go in once, right,
Mhm.
and you get beat, and then you go in a second time, you get fewer points for the second win.
Yeah.
That is a way to mitigate some of that quote unquote defensive win points. So, but when we get to the next one, though, it makes me think that that's not the case. So, if we don't consider defensive wins, how will ties be approached? Currently, ties are considered losses, so both alliances receive defeat rewards and respective ranking points. However, we've considered options like adding bonus points that trigger when certain criteria are met, such as first alliance to knock out all opponents. Ugh. If ties start happening at a higher rate than expected, we can consider different solutions. We don't expect ties to be very common in the current system, and both our internal and external playtests have reflected this belief. I can tell you from experience, this is wrong. And not from this, but from Galaxy of Heroes. When Galaxy of Heroes started Territory War, they were like, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about ties. It'll be very rare. and they were flooding. I mean, like flooded with ties, and it broke it when they first launched it. They didn't expect it to happen, and I'm afraid that Fox Next is following that same poor logic of, that's the outlier.
Yeah.
No plan meets first contact with the enemy. Sorry. So, and I personally, I hate the whole first alliance to knock out all opponents. No, come on, man.
Yeah.
So here's my problem with that, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you get locked in with another alliance, and a bulk of their players are in a different time zone, right? And the mode starts at midnight Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's 2 a.m. in the morning for me. I'm asleep, but that's like nothing to somebody in the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
Or Australia. So they can wind up clearing the board while I'm asleep because I was asleep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of a problem with a lot of things in this game, time zone issues. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you have to work around, unfortunately. But it's not ideal.
Or they just don't do it. They just don't do that first alliance to knock out all opponents.
Yeah, I mean, that would be good, but Fox Next, they're going to keep that.
Yeah.
At least for a while, until it becomes, or if it becomes a huge problem.
Yeah. This next one gives me heartburn. What level of time commitment do you expect from alliances competing seriously in this mode, both in terms of active gameplay, offensive, and responsive gameplay, heal, strategizing, coordinating, push, etc.? We expect participation to be between 45 minutes and 1 hour a day after alliances have played a few times. Oh, they expect longer at first, and settled into a groove. We're looking into war being an event that potentially runs 2 to 3 days a week. Oh my god!
I don't think they realize that they're a mobile game.
No, man! Holy shit! And pardon my language. I'm sorry, but I really want to start dropping some 4-letter words here.
Yeah, I think it's funny to me how flagrantly they just dropped that. Yeah, it's just a casual 45 minutes to an hour a day. No big deal. On top of
the 45 minutes to an hour that you do every few hours anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So like we're looking at basically.
3 hours
granted, granted it is only 2 to 3 days a week right now, at least. So that's good, but man, yeah, on that. So like that number alone isn't that bad, but that number stacked on top of everything else that we have to do every day. Ugh, like I'm already dreading like that along with double raids and everything like that.
Blitzes,
like a big blitz day and stuff like that. Like. Fuck me. Oh, well.
Bleep that.
But yeah.
I've been fighting so hard, man. I've been wanting to cuss the whole time. I'm just, because look, I've shared this with you. I don't know if I've shared it on the podcast. I may have. I've talked to Fox Next about the amount of time invested in this game. And like, I've calculated out on an average day, I'm spending 2 to 3 hours already in the game. Now, I'm a competitive player. At least I try to be. And it now you're going to tell me you're looking at 4 hours a day for competitive players. Do you realize you're a mobile video game?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot for even a non-mobile video game, but yeah.
I don't do that. Like, I love Neverwinter on my Xbox, right? Shameless cryptic plug. I'll put in 4 hours a day on that because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And there's so much different things to do.
Different things.
This game is the same thing. Oh, you got to raid, and you got to run raids, so you got to do your 5 raids, and there's like 30 minutes. And then you got to wait a couple hours and come back and do 5 more. So now you're up to an hour. And they use your blitz, so you're going to do that every few hours, and depending on how many teams you've got, there's 10 to 15 minutes. So there's another hour and a half, and it's just like that's not even counting campaigns, farming, arena. Ugh. Come on, guys.
We're gonna catch so much flack for being negative.
Look.
Sorry.
Yeah, people can be upset about being negative. I'm sorry. Look,
We're being objective.
I'm being
Honestly.
objective, right?
Yeah.
There's too much time
I don't want to
commitment
blow
for a
smoke up your
mobile
ass.
game,
Like,
right? I'm not.
yeah.
Look,
Exactly.
I'm not a shill for Fox Next. They don't pay me to do this. This is. I'm an opinion hobbyist journalist here,
Yeah.
right? So, my opinion is that it's too much time.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think that yes, we're being negative, but it is important to be negative and critical about things like this. And but yeah, whenever it comes to time commitment, and this is a consistent problem that we've had for a very long time. Keep in mind, we've also said some good things throughout this too.
I was about to say we've heaped a lot of praise for some of the things they've done as well. So
yeah, exactly. People are quick to forget that whenever we start to go negative. But yeah, I just with the time commitment, especially like it is a mobile game, and I don't have a problem. Like people are just going to say, "Oh, why don't you just quit the game if you have such a problem with that?" Look, I love this game for a lot of reasons.
Yep.
There are some reasons why I do not like this game, but at the end of the day, I really love mobile games, and I love being able to pull out my phone and do whatever I need on it or want on it for a time killer kind of thing. But that's the thing. That's how this game started for me. It was a time killer, right? It was I'm at the doctor's office and I want to play something. I'm going to hop on MS. This game has become a full-on commitment. I mean,
it is.
Even outside of the podcast, which I love to do, don't get me wrong. But whenever it comes to the actual in-game stuff, like, man, like they better start paying me because it is a job.
It is a job.
Like, to pull this thing out like at school whenever I should be paying attention, and I'm like, all right, I got to raid real quick. But that's what I have to do to be competitive, unfortunately. But there's just I really wish that they would address the time taken for a lot of these things, or be more sensitive to whenever they release content, so we don't have that fire hose effect where we're just having to do so much at one particular time. So hopefully they kind of balance that out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that 120%.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. How will cheaters be handled? I.e., what happens to a decided match when the Fox Next team determines someone had cheated? We're applying everything we learned and implemented with our previous anti-cheat setups. We've seen a massive improvement in prevention and detection that we're continuing to improve upon and carry over to Alliance War. We also adjusted a few things on our back end that will help us make faster adjustments to the leaderboard scores if there are any player bans that make this necessary. As we've mentioned before, cheating is something we take very seriously, and we're happy with the progress we've made to combat it so far, but there's more prevention and detection work that is ongoing. So I encourage everybody to go read this because they refuse to answer the question. They at no point on here asked what happened to a decided match. Unless you count adjustments to leaderboard scores.
Yeah, I think that they really don't know exactly what they're going to be doing right now as far as because we already know that they're not good about handing out the rewards that should have went to the correct people that didn't, kind of thing.
Right.
So
or being consistent with their ban policies.
Yeah, well, and yeah, that's another thing. So we'll have to see how they do that, but I don't think that it will be very smooth at the beginning, that's for sure. Because there's definitely going to be cheating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You guys,
we're going to see.
Anytime you do player v player, there will be cheating involved because some men just want to watch the world burn.
Exactly.
So, regarding the time to set up defenses, will this be set up the same as the attack phase where there's a timer, or will it be open whenever a war is not running? So, defenses are meant to be set when war is not running. There will be a short matchmaking phase where you will be locked out right before war starts, but otherwise you can set up your defenses whenever there isn't an active war running. So, it sounds like defenses are going to carry over from war to war. So I wonder if it's going to be, if I set my defense in my territory where I've been assigned or whatever, and I set it today, and then the war goes. If I don't look at it before the next war, will those teams stay? And that sounds like it will.
Yeah, I would hope that they would, because that is honestly a way to save a little bit of time during the phases. And if you want to change something, then you can, but it'll at least keep something at default. That would be very nice, honestly. So we'll see if that actually happens. But
yeah, I do like this because it's not a locked out 24-hour join period. It's not a locked out defense period. And then a locked out attack period. Now, I have questions. Actually, I need to send that question into Fox next. I wonder if, so like when Galaxy of Heroes does their territory war, they actually take a snapshot of your roster at the point of matchmaking. Okay. So you can't, like, if you add or level up or start up a character after that happens, that is not reflected in the territory war. When matchmaking starts here, they're going to take a snapshot of your roster, so that if you wind up getting a 7 red star drop on somebody, will that be reflected in game? I need to find that out, because I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Right. No, I agree with you on that one.
So, where are we? Oh, are any more controls for setting defense going to be added? For example, setting which players are in which rooms. We also heard this feedback a lot during the playtest, and it's one of the new quality of life features we're adding to War in the future. However, it will not be available during the initial launch of War. In the meantime, Alliance officers will be able to kick player defenses from a room, making it easier to adjust defenses. We plan to add more quality of life features to setting defenses in future iterations of War. Look, if you don't add a roster management tool for an alliance, and there are no external tools to do this, it's got to be a top priority.
Yeah, hopefully this is the catalyst that they need to really kind of implement that, because I think this really screams that we need it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great that officers will be able to just boot somebody and clear all their teams from a room. That'll be really nice. Or they'll be able to just boot the teams individually. So, will alliances with members largely in similar time zones have a significant advantage if more players can monitor and react during the offensive part of Alliance War? And this is why I hate this being able to react and heal teams. I think it's nonsense.
Right.
There was a lot of internal discussion about this, and we feel that the switch to 24 hours will help quite a bit. No. We're also revamping the heal system so there's less need to be constantly watching on defense, which would be tough to do for players in worldwide alliances. Additionally, War Energy starts with 2 attacks, which should help counter any coordinated attacks at the start of War. I mean, if you have to sit and monitor anything, you can't do that time zone based. So,
yeah, I mean the heal system is the big question mark, I think, for this.
Yeah, it really is the big question.
So I'm curious to see what they end up with for the launch version of the heal system, because it's not the attacks that I'm worried about as much as the just being able to heal and being able to realize that, and if they can heal their teams and you can't heal yours because you are sleeping or whatever, that puts you at a distinct disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I don't think that they realize this, but people do sleep.
Right.
So
not in this game. That's they want you addicted. Point blank. They want you addicted.
Yeah, they still don't understand why all of a sudden our game engagement goes down for 8 hours a day. They're like, what the heck is happening? These weird blackout zones.
Right? Wow. I don't know what's going on, man. It's like these people have lives or something. Also, so I don't know if you know this or not, and they mention it here, this mode has war energy. Right. So just like campaign energy that builds up over time.
Right.
So you can't go in and just you can't go in and just do your attacks. You have to go in, then wait and come back and do it again. Then wait and come back and do it again. Then wait and come back and do it again. It's bullshit. Please stop.
Yeah, it's another thing that we have to manage, basically, another resource we have to manage for that.
Well, it's not just that. It's being able to find time to do these things, right? That's what my alliance has adjusted our raid schedule because we are a worldwide alliance. We've got some great people there, but I regret being in a worldwide alliance. Because we start earlier in the evening,
right?
But that's like my prime family time, right? So I can't get in until later in the evening when most of the stuff's already been done. So then I just typically wait till the next morning, but I got to work. And I can't go in and do my fights and then come back 2 hours later and do more fights. I'm at work, man. I got a career.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work. Please stop with this energy bullshit.
Yeah, I certainly wish that we could, especially for this mode, just cruise right through so we can hit whatever we need. But yeah, I mean, this is like energy is the name of this game. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest bit. It's just, it's another thing that you're gonna have to manage.
Well, and that's why that's why this stuff takes so long. And honestly, I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. Something's going to have to give because I can't look, I have my day structured to be able to do certain things.
Right.
So either I'm going to raid or I'm going to blitz or I'm going to do war. Something will suffer.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
I can't do all three at the same time. I just can't be adding more stuff.
Right.
Resources are finite and time is a resource.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Sorry, you're gonna get notes about me being negative. Sorry.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, whatever. You notice nobody bothers messaging me to tell me anything because they know better. Because they know better. So we're getting close to the end here. So, are you planning on augmenting any of the current roster of characters to have war-specific buffs abilities like war machines? Yes. We're going to be adding a new military trait. Quick side note, we got panned mercilessly. I don't know if you've been following the Discord comments and feedback.
I saw the one.
Oh, no, there's been multiples. Dude, we missed a few.
Okay, I saw one of them.
So anyway, military trait that provides additional bonuses to that character while they're in war. War Machine will be one of the first characters to have this trait, and more are on the way. We'll have more info in an upcoming blog. So yeah, okay, that's I don't have a problem with that. I think that's cool. It helps with the with strategizing and being able to kind of spread your players around a bit. So
I'm nervous about it. I like the concept of it in theory is okay, but I still, for the reasons that I mentioned, I won't go into it too much, but the reasons that I mentioned in previous podcasts, it makes me a little nervous. But it's something that's going to happen, so I'm going to have to roll with it. But just hopefully they don't go too crazy with how good some of these specific buffs and abilities are.
Yeah, I mean that's always the fear, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's why there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. But yeah, just for the Foxnext employees that are listening, just don't go too crazy with it, boys.
Yeah, please.
Or girl.
Please don't do that. So I'm gonna hit really, really, really quick. We missed a couple of very obvious military traits when we had that question.
Okay.
So Punisher, obviously.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Wow. That
right?
was bad.
And then I can't believe neither one of us. Of course, my thing is like, come on, guys, it's like 2:00 in the morning. But anyway, Captain America. Should probably have the military trait tag, maybe.
Hawkeye too. Oh no, Hawkeye wasn't in the military, was he?
No, I don't think so. Fury was though.
Yeah,
well,
Fury was.
The original Fury was. I don't know if the MCU version of Fury that they're using was. Maybe we'll find out more. Obviously, Carol Danvers will need to have the military tag. Then,
yeah,
you
said that one.
Did we say her?
You mentioned that one, yeah.
Oh, okay. But then somebody mentioned Killmonger. Now I don't know much about Killmonger from the comics. Obviously he had from the MCU military.
I forgot about that.
So yeah.
To be fair, he only mentioned that like like one time in like a big monologue that he was in the military before in the movie.
I think others mentioned it. I think Bilbo mentioned it a couple of times. I'm sorry. Look, I love Martin Freeman. Don't get me wrong. I think he is a great actor. He will forevermore though be Bilbo or Watson. Okay, but I mean he's just Bilbo.
Yeah. But yeah, I know you're right. Actually, I think he did mention that he was like, whenever they did that whole like, I'm going to scare you with how much this guy knows, or he's a ghost. He's been in everything. We can't find him. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, right, they probably did mention it then.
Yeah, I did a quick scan through Marvel Wikia for the comics based, and I don't see anything here about him being in the army. So anyway, not a big deal. So we're getting off on a tangent. Hey, that's our first one for the night. Yay us.
Yeah, we've been staying on track, dude.
We really have. Try to hammer through these things, man. No more 3-hour episodes.
Yeah, please.
So then let's see. Next question. How did you foresee individuals dividing their rosters up when designing the mode? Did you anticipate each player splitting half for attack, half for defense, or did you have other combinations in mind? The goal was to create a system with a lot of different strategies, and so far we've seen that in the playtest, along with the combinations and strategies we saw in our internal playtests. We're excited to see how this expands when the mode releases and as new characters are added along the way. One interesting strategy we saw was players using smaller squads of 1 to 3 characters to try and take out weaker opponents. In most cases, it was a high-risk, high-reward move that, if successful, allowed that alliance to reserve other players for defense or extra attacks. Pretty cool. Okay. You probably could have done without the pretty cool, and yeah, so I mean, and again, it's all going to be all about the strategy, right? It's all about it's all about min-maxing those points.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's going to be a strategy that we find works best for us for specific opponents, or just a basic general strategy that works the best. But yeah, it's all about trying to figure out what works best for at least you and your alliance right now. So
yep. And that's part of what makes these fun. It's a chess match. It's just a big chess match.
Yeah,
I love me some chess. So and then, do we have another round of playtests to look forward to? Yes. We're currently updating the latest iteration of Alliance War, and many of the changes are based on the early feedback we received. We're excited to get some more playtime on this build and share what we learned with all of you. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be good to have more people going in and basically being able to tweak this, hopefully give them more feedback and tweak this more to be a really good addition to the game.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm excited. I'm excited for the mode. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I am worried about the time requirements, however.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me. It's just I'm looking forward to finally having new content, like something that isn't just a rehashed version of something that we already have. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, the time commitment does really, really, really worry me. And I hope that they kind of bring that down a little bit by, allowing us to do maybe some shortcuts as far as, setting the defenses and offenses and things like that. I don't know how exactly, but I'm not being paid to give them ideas. So it's not my job to tell them. But
not that they'll listen anyway.
Yeah. But hopefully they figure that out. So, but I think
can only hope.
I think it pretty much does it for the dev blog though.
Yeah, it really does. There was a lot there. We hope you guys enjoyed that. Overall, Hebrew, what's your opinion on this mailbag, and what do you think?
Well, I think it helped shed some light on the mode for those who, haven't been involved with the playtest, which is, of course, the mass majority. So I think that's really good that they finally get some insight into exactly what's going to be happening. I think it answered some questions that a lot of us had and really wanted to know. I think that there's still some things that I want tweaked and fixed and things that I'm worried about, but also some things that I'm pretty excited for. So yeah, I think that there's some good, there's some bad, but mostly I'm just really excited to be able to play this with my alliance. Put it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. What about you?
I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, hopefully people aren't as salty, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I hope that it'll bring alliances together. You know what I mean? And just provide more activities for us to do together as an alliance that don't require us to compete with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I have always been a fan of, even though, I've mentioned it before, but like it was kind of fun, like really coming together with my alliance during those 2-hour Deadpool raids. I'm glad that those are no longer a thing. Don't get me wrong, but like it was pretty fun for us just to have something to really come together and succeed with whenever we actually did it. So I appreciate having something like that in this game again that will allow us to really play together and pay attention to each other, listen and talk with each other. Because right now, you don't really need to communicate with your alliance that much to just do your basic stuff, right? You're assigned a lane, you do your lane every day. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So in this, it kind of forces us to have to get together again. So I like that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that anything that brings the alliance together and gives them a common goal is good. And that to me was always the biggest failing with raids, because you're competing, you're working with your alliance and trying to coordinate to do your stuff, right? Because no single person can just do everything. But at the same time, you're competing with them to get higher on the leaderboard to get better rewards. I think raids should give the same rewards to everybody. At least these types of raids should give the same rewards to everybody, especially if you finish the entire map. Problematic because you have people that won't join or don't contribute, but there's a kick button for that.
Yeah, and in this mode, I would agree with that. In raids, I don't really mind that. Like I wouldn't have a problem if they made it just unilaterally your team gets this whenever you complete a raid, but I don't really mind that because it's not too much of a difference on what you get. I don't really mind that some people get more than others, just because some people who do contribute a lot more deserve it. But then again, I know what you mean whenever you get to the nitty gritty where everyone can easily complete everything. Then people do start to kind of battle it out for who gets what positioning. So we'll have to see about that. But I think it's time for the grab bag, right?
Yeah. Let me take a look at how much time we've got in here. Yeah, we're only an hour 45. We can handle some questions here. So, Lance is better than you asks, I would like a roster review. How do roster reviews work? What is the process and cost for non-patrons? So, Heber and I talked about this because Muggin and I tried a roster review once, and it was a little bit harder to do from a podcast, but Heber and I think we've got a good idea on how we can do that. And what it's going to happen is, if you're not a patron and you would like to have a roster review, it's $15 for a roster review. Okay. If you're a patron and you're at the $20 level, you get a free roster review once a quarter. That may adjust to once every 2 to 3 months, but we felt that once a quarter was a good starting point. So yeah, if you'd like a roster review, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to work with you on how to coordinate some things and get that into and get that done. We have not. Hebrew. Have we decided yet if we're going to record those and release them, or are we just going to do the one-on-one?
We haven't quite decided yet. It might depend on after we do the first one and figure that out from there. But
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. It may be something that we post special. Like if you're a patron and you do that, you get a patron episode. I don't know. We haven't entirely decided, but we do know that for the non-patrons, it's just $15. And we'll go from there. So if you're interested, just shoot us a DM and let us know. Moon asks, of the bottlenecks in MSF that are obstacles to progression, i.e. gold, shards, gear, cores, etc., which is the most frustrating, and how would you go about adjusting it? Hebrew, tell us about your gold frustration.
Yeah, easily the biggest problem for me is gold. That is the biggest bottleneck by far. I never have enough gold, and I never get good gold drops. So it's very RNG dependent for because it really is such a difference between if you get the lowest drop on gold and you getting the highest drop on gold. I mean, it's the biggest difference out of anything in this game RNG related, I would say. Besides maybe the 180 premium orb drops and stuff like that. But yeah, so with that, if you're really bad with luck on that, like me, still have never gotten a million drop, then it can really be bad, like really, really bad. So for me, that's easily the worst. What about you?
So my gold situation isn't nearly as bad. I get a few 100,000 a day, it feels like. You're talking to the guy who for grins was taking excess resources and pumping them into AIM.
Yeah, I know. That's what makes me what blows my mind. I'm like, I'm struggling just to do anything in the game.
Well, that's because that's because I have defenders at a really high level and they do everything in the game.
So, yeah, I mean, so do I. But
right, so you should be able to, kind of, unless you get high red stars and other stuff, not care about anything else.
Oh God, that's definitely not the case. I'm leveling up shield. I'm leveling up Kree. I mean, my shield is all done, but I'm leveling up Kree. I still need to finish leveling up my Brotherhood all the way. Like they're all 65 right now. The 65 to 70 is.
So what you're telling me is you spread yourself too thin, and that's why you're having resource issues. I'm
forced to. I have so many things that I need to get and do.
Do you need?
I'm constantly trying to. Yeah, I mean, I defenders I need, shield I need, Brotherhood is arguably the only one that I don't need. I mean, I definitely don't need them, but it's kind of like I do that one because I feel like I have to because I got them, on the first run. So, but yeah, I mean, I like to do things like I actually invested a good amount in hand before shield came out. I invested a good amount in hand because. For some reason, I thought that would be a good idea.
Well, hey, look, Hand was really good at their job, okay? And that was doing that Hand Relic event.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I think that it's really unfortunate, especially with Hand, just because I'm not going to see a return on that for a very long time because they were probably in the best spot out of all the minions to begin with. Right, so they're probably going to be the last ones to ever get a rework, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, yeah, it's just I don't have a lot of gold. That's it.
Yeah, for me the problem is shards. I think their drop rates are atrocious. I'm farming Kree Reaper, and that may be the worst set of nodes in the game.
Kingpin.
I stopped farming Kingpin once I got him to 6 stars.
Yeah, I don't farm him anymore either, not at all. But whenever I was farming him back in the day, oh my God, that thing dropped once every 4 days.
Yeah,
if that.
It's almost how I feel about Iron Fist and Punisher because they're single hard nodes. But Reaper is 2 nodes, and I think I got like 2 shards the past 4 days.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss on her. Like I actually have done fairly decent with her. But today, for instance, this was the first day I didn't get anything for her, but in a while. But I didn't get anything for either one of her nodes. So
Yeah,
So,
that seems to be like common for me. So you don't get
Yeah,
gold,
gear-
I don't get characters. Hey, that's
well,
why
let's
I have
not
so
let's
much
not skip
gold.
things. I'm not swimming in character shards either. That's for sure. But as far as another thing also is gear. Just drop rates in general on nodes are absolutely terrible. I threw down 200 energy just to get one thing today, and literally only one of them dropped.
Oof.
So it was very annoying. But yeah,
Yeah.
so like drop rates in general are not that great. But yeah, for me the biggest thing is the gold. Sorry, just to sum up that question so we can move on.
That's okay. You mentioned the gold 4 times.
Yeah, that's because that's how much pain it is. It's constantly in my mind. I'm thinking about it.
So Della asks, and I don't know if I mentioned that was from Moon. The bottleneck was from Moon.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So Della asks, I don't know if they have one already, but I think having a dedicated community manager would be extremely beneficial for this game. There are glitches that happen all the time, which is understandable, but silence outside of a weekly dev blog and sporadic Reddit comments isn't enough. I feel so much of the anger that rises up from these small issues wouldn't be there anymore or subdued if people were actually told what's going on. Yes, they have a dedicated community manager.
Yeah, they do.
That's about all I can say on that matter.
But it makes sense that you don't know who he is. I don't deal like that.
Right. Again,
Um,
I've talked to him. Seems like a really nice guy.
yeah,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
yeah. Let me just put it like communication in general is just not their strong point.
No.
Period.
No.
It never will be. It's not a priority for them. So yeah.
Nope. They're gonna die on that non-communication hill, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Commander Code says he's struggling with deciding where to go. Right now, my Defenders team, Fury, Shield are both T11. I am slowly throwing resources at a Guardians team, but with Ultima 7 on the horizon, not sure if I should do the T12 grind of one of my top teams or focus on getting a Cosmic team up. What do you guys think? I think we now offer roster reviews. No, I'm kidding. Shameless self-promoting plug there. Honestly, if you're at T11, I think you're fine for right now. We don't know anything about the Ultimus node other than the data mined T11 plus. So who knows, right? I would tell you that with Alliance War coming, with the character raids, the Alpha, Beta, Gamma raids having trait specific, I think going Guardians and Cosmic is a great idea. Personally, I think Guardians themselves they're fan-freaking-tastic. I'll talk about my Guardians here in a little bit, but what about you, Hebrew? What do you think?
Yeah, I think with Mantis coming, it makes them very viable now. So, yeah, you have a good team with why am I blanking on this? Arena. All right. So they have a good team with Arena now with Groot, and then you have a really good team with Raid with Mantis. So I think that Guardians is a great team to go on, and obviously they have the Cosmic tag, so that'll work very well. So yeah, it's totally good. It's very viable.
Yeah. By the way, my Guardians are now up to like 183k.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drax. So I've got Drax and Rocket both with 4 red stars. Dude.
I would have figured it would have been more than like your team power would be more.
Well, my Groot is only 5 stars. He's the one holding me back. He's only T9 5 stars. Level 68.
Yeah.
Because Rocket's 42k, Gamora's 39k, Star-Lord's 32k.
Right.
Drax is he's 42.5k. Groot's the one holding me back at like 27.5k.
Yeah, Groot and Star-Lord are the lower ones.
Yeah. And Star-Lord's 6 star. He's not a 5-star scrub, and he's T10. But he's only 2 red stars. But that team, oh my god, they will do some damage.
Yeah, I
got
remember from the group chat earlier you mentioned having some fun with them.
Oh yeah, like there's a node in Ultimate 6 that I always had trouble with. How to make a quick buck. That's got like the 3 Winter Soldiers, the 2 Black Widows, and there's like 5 cables that all drop, like, you know, in slots and stuff. Man, that Guardians team kind of walked right through that. My defenders struggled. I would sometimes lose 1 or 2. I could one shot it sometimes, but if RNG went bad, it was a nightmare. But that Guardians team just kind of cakewalks through that, because Rocket gets up on top of Groot's shoulder and he's just hitting people for 60,000 apiece. Because nobody's got defense up.
Yeah, my Guardians team, I tried to level them up for a little bit before the Kree announcement. I was like, all right, Mantis is coming. I should probably get them up. But I just don't have enough stars on Groot and Rocket to make it really worth it. So, and whenever Kree was announced, I was like, blah, no. And so I just, they're sitting in the back now, and Kree is going to be my big boys. But I mean, the Guardians team is mean now.
Yeah, that Guardians team is really mean. Really, really mean. So Mike C215 asks, would you like to see raids that involved everyone taking turns fighting one massive boss like Galactus? Also, sidebar, last podcast, the military class Killmonger would be one on that too.
Yeah,
thanks. Like I said, we got panned for that military tag.
Yeah, we really did.
Go read the comments and feedback. So, I don't like how raids are done in this. I've said that's from the beginning. I really like you get a raid boss and everybody goes in and attacks the raid boss at, you know, it to me, it's just, I like it better. Raids take way too long. Just way too long. So
yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, at the beginning, I didn't mind that as much whenever the game first started, but now 100%, I think that would be a much better way to do that. In fact, I would really like it. Foxnex, if you're listening, this is a great idea that I thought of and no one else did. But I think that for beta and gamma or whatever, like maybe they should just, or any new ones that they have coming out after gamma, they should just do that from now on. You know, it will supplement that as the second raid that comes out. Just, it's a big boss battle, and we just do it Soga style, and that would be far nicer, I think. And also just the idea from what he mentioned, you know, just all of us fighting. He said Galactus, right?
Yeah,
sick. It's so cool. I would love that.
That would be really freaking fantastic.
So yeah, if they did that, that'd be a nice way to kind of curb the time issue that we're having, especially with what we are going to potentially be facing time-wise whenever we have a whole bunch of stuff colliding for a perfect storm of I have to live on this game.
Right. I mean, so, look, at this point, I'm starting to expect a paycheck. God knows my wife is. Oof. Oof.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely bet. Yeah.
Are you in that game again? No, honey.
Yeah.
No, honey. Shut the sound phone real quick.
Yeah. Like, you're probably gonna have to take out a book and pretend like you're reading, and then just really be playing the game.
That's somewhat doable. Yeah, or get BlueStacks on more computers.
True.
So, I would like to see that. Prig Kiino, which I think is Shanghai. Is that Taiwanese for shrimp or something like that? I can't remember. He and I used to be in the same Star Wars alliance. What he asks, what I just call him Prig. What is the ideal hero brawler team? Trying to build one from scratch. Wow, there are so many good hero brawlers. I obviously Miss Marvel is the cornerstone of any hero brawler team.
Yes.
I think that you have a lot of good options, and you can actually do some good double dipping there. So Iron Fist and Punisher are great in a brawler team, and Iron Fist will heal himself, Punisher, and Miss Marvel. Or Spider-Man, who is also great in a brawler team. And these are all really good, easy to get characters. Relatively-ish easy. I mean, Gamora's great in a brawler team. Deadpool's great in a brawler team. Black Panther. I know people talk him up. I am kind of like meh about him, to be honest, but maybe it's because he's just not high enough stars.
Well, it's really his incoming potential with
Okoye?
what's her face? Okoye.
Yeah. I mean, she does some work, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like, so I would have Miss Marvel, really you could do Miss Marvel, Iron Fist, Daredevil. I mean, just really, like I'm looking at all the brawlers right now.
Black Panther,
like,
Okoye.
So many of them that work really well, actually.
There are so many.
So yeah,
Deadpool's great.
Yeah, out of the current pool of what we have, I would probably say the best one is Miss Marvel, Iron Fist, Daredevil. Then you could do Black Panther and Spider-Man. That'd probably be my pick.
Did you do 5?
I'd say, yeah, I'd go with that. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and then Miss Marvel.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, one of the guys that I recommend is unfarmable right now, and that is Miles. He is really good. I run a hero brawler blitz team that just it punches well above its weight class, and I use Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Miles, and I want to say maybe Wolverine's in that team too.
Wolverine.
Hey,
that's
look,
cute.
Wolverine hits. Hey, look, he does some. He'll do some work.
His ult is good and he survives. Yeah,
which is what I want out of a guy on a blitz team in that team.
Yeah, I mean, my Wolverine is high. Don't get me wrong; he has a place for me, but it's just he's
okay.
I wish
he
was better.
Wolverine check. Whip him out. Let's measure our Wolverines.
So mine
went south really fast.
Yeah, mine is 65, 36K. Level 65, 36K.
How many red stars do you have on him?
3.
Mine is level 65, but he's only 28K.
Tier 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. 36,083.
Yeah, I'm at 28,808.
Stars, 65, 6664, T10, the right 3 in gear, and then the top left.
Okay, you got him 6664. I'm only 6663. Boy,
Oh yeah, Stark Tech too. Yeah, I have my full mutant is almost full mutant because I had whatchamacallit.
Yeah, see, I haven't gone the Brotherhood route, so mutant for me was kind of I haven't put any tickets into it yet. I've maxed out all the others. But I'll probably have to worry about mutant at some point. But I'll do that when we get higher up and I can bank more tickets.
Yeah.
So that would explain it.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at it. Ours they're nearly identical.
Yeah, I was just looking at the picture that you sent. Yeah.
So
ours are very close, but yeah, I think it's the Stark Tech. Obviously, it really is funny whenever you look at it. I'm looking at the 2 right now. But yeah, whenever you look at it, Stark Tech really does make a difference. Like that's a big difference right there.
It is a really big difference.
Such a good system, Stark Tech.
Sad they did that really well.
Yeah, sad that it was basically made moot with red stars.
It's moot. Yeah. No, actually, it's moo.
I said moot. Moot.
No, it's moo. It's moo. Oh
yeah, moo. That's right. That's
like a cow's opinion. It means nothing.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, my Wolverine is bigger, and that's what matters.
Well played, good sir. Well played. So Dark Andrew asks, would you rather have Wakandans or Inhumans first?
For me, for sure, Inhumans. I don't have like a particular big spot in my heart for Wakandans. So just because I don't really know any of them beyond Black Panther.
And Okoye?
I mean, yeah, Okoye, but
Jaffa.
I don't even like. She's just not. I don't know who that is.
Wait, have you seen the movies?
Yeah, I've seen the movies. I just probably don't remember who was it again that you said?
He's the leader. He's the leader of the gorilla tribe.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name. But yeah, like the only like superhero one that I know of is I guess Killmonger too, but is Black Panther. I'm just not a big fan of the non-superheroes, I guess. Like there's nothing like super about them. They're just kind of heroes, I guess. So yeah, it's just meh. Like Inhumans are a lot cooler to me, I suppose.
So, how many Inhumans can you name?
Like none, but I know that they all have superpowers. Well, but no, that's true, right? They all have superpowers.
Yes, they do have superpowers. They do have
Yeah, therefore I
superpowers.
know that they're all cooler.
I
I'm not wrong on that. That's true.
I mean, we're talking about people that have superpowers, though. Koye really doesn't.
No, like
but-
Okoye doesn't have superpower. I mean, neither does a Killmonger anymore either, right? Like he doesn't have any more superpowers.
it depends on how.
Yes,
are we going
dude.
comic book or are we going MCU?
And MCU, I suppose, is what I'm taking him off of. But yeah, Pope brings up Hawkeye. I'm not a huge fan of Hawkeye either because he doesn't have superpower. I'm just not a fan of non-superpowered superheroes. Yeah.
Oh, it's in
I think
Baku, by the way. It was in Baku.
Iron Man, M'Baku, okay. But I think probably Iron Man's probably the only exception to that. He's super cool. I love his attitude a lot, so that's probably why I still consider him like a badass. But yeah, generally for some reason, like I'm just not a big fan of non-superpowered superheroes. So they're just not as interesting to me, I suppose. But I know that that's the charm of it to some other people. Like Batman, I'm not a big fan of, but other people love Batman.
Wait. Hold on.
Am I blowing your mind right now?
Wait.
Yeah. What?
Really? Batman?
Batman. Oh yeah. I think that's something else. Yeah.
You're getting a double gasp.
Yeah. Batman. Yeah.
Oh.
Not a big fan. Like
I
Superman.
really got to rethink
Superman,
this.
I
Is it
think
too late to rethink this partnership?
Superman, I think, is a bit too boring, but at least he has superpowers. Batman is just kind of he's like, meh, all right. Like, I still like him. I just am not I'm not nearly as big of a fan of him as I am so many other people with superpowers.
So the thing with the Inhumans, the reason why they're superpowered is because they're descended or have some Kree genetics. So
Okay.
they were genetically manipulated, and yeah. So Medusa is an Inhuman. Black Bolt is an Inhuman. Technically, Miss Marvel should be an Inhuman.
Yeah.
The fact that she's not in game is really sad, to be honest with you.
Which one?
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, my God, she gets Lockjaw.
Yeah.
Oh, I
wish
take that
Lockjaw
back.
was a
She is
character.
Inhuman.
Lockjaw.
Wait, she is Inhuman. How did I not know this? Because
I don't know.
there's only one other Inhuman in the game, and you never run them together.
Because Quake is Inhuman, right?
Quake is the only
Okay.
other Inhuman in the game, yes.
Yeah.
And the only benefit that the Inhumans get is Quake gives focus, and Miss Marvel does not need focus, like, at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My bad. I take that back. I stand corrected. They have two Inhumans in the game. Miss Marvel is an Inhuman. They got that right. Thank you. My bad.
There we go.
Let's see. To answer that question, I would probably want to see the Wakandans first, mainly because Black Panther's very lonely. At least there are two Inhumans.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's technically two in the game for each, I guess. Just one isn't available for play.
Let's see. Pope Jesus Christ asks, "Are you guys on a Red Star duplicate streak? I stopped counting at 40 about a week and a half ago." Well, I mean, the maths, man. Yes. But I'm actually holding my Red Star orbs, because there is a data mined event coming where you get alliance points for opening those Red Star orbs. So holding them is probably a good idea to help out your alliance.
Yeah, I right now I'm also holding mine. So I haven't rolled last week's, but um yeah, I wouldn't say a streak because it really hasn't been like I've gotten like one or maybe two in the past at least month that I haven't had before, but it's pretty much always all minions, and it's pretty much always 1 to 2 stars, and they're always duplicates for the most part. Like I said, it's really only been like one or two. And even then, those one or two, I think one was another minion, and the other one was Hawkeye, and it was a 2 star. So yeah, I'm getting duplicates left and right, and it's just really, really annoying that I only get like 100 for my duplicates because they're always such low star quality.
Yep. You need 50
So yeah,
of those.
I hate that system. I knew it whenever I saw that 5,000 mark. I was like, this is going to be garbage. And
no negativity. Being negative.
Yeah, so many people were like, I don't care. Let me say what I want to say. No, I just so many people were just like, oh, but you get so many if you get a duplicate on, a high level star. But the problem is I never get high level stars. I get tons of duplicates on trash characters with no star value. So no, bad system. I hate red stars. The end.
Yeah. But yeah, that and that is the problem with the red stars the way they currently are designed, because once you get basically to that halfway point, once you have a red star on a character, at the odds of you getting a duplicate, are go up. Everyone you add, the odds go up of you getting a duplicate. And it's just when I was crunching the numbers, what's funny, what a lot of people don't think about. Let's say you're looking for a 7-star character, right? So you get Punisher and you want to take him to 7 red stars. You start pulling red star orbs trying to get him to 7 red stars. It will on average take you the exact same number to find that one specific character as it would be to get every character up to 7 stars. So
yeah.
Unless you get lucky, you will have to open every orb to get one specific character to 7 stars. That's just the odds are not in your favor. Basically, like if you're looking at 4 red stars and you want to find a specific character, you have a 1 in 1,200 chance. 1 in 1,200.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's to get a 4-star. A 4-star. And then San Francisco with our fun question of the week. Someone holds a gun to your head and says you need to recite a song word for word to live. What song do you choose? No give me's like the alphabet or happy birthday.
That is a good question. Do you already know yours?
Oh, absolutely. I sing it all the time.
What is it?
Don't Take the Girl by Tim McGraw.
Okay. Mine, it's like a romantic song, but it's Fuck Her Gently by Tenacious D. So that's the song I would say.
Nice.
I'll edit. I'll beep that.
Thank you. Let's see.
That is without a doubt the one song I'd want to go out singing. That's for sure.
The Beatles have a really good song, Revolution Number 9, where it's basically just the words number 9, number 9, number 9 throughout the entire song. That's it. That would be a good one. Let's see. Is there another one? Bare Naked Ladies, When I Fall.
Yeah.
I love that song.
You know all the words to that one?
Yeah.
Very cool. I could also probably do an Adele song. I could probably do almost every Adele song, actually. So any of those would also work. But any Tenacious D, any Adele song, I'll probably be able to do.
So I'm going to need you to cut up your man card, drop it in an envelope, and ship it over here. Okay?
No, my man card.
I just got a message. It's officially been revoked.
I am more of a man
said
for
Adele.
listening to Adele than you
said
are
Adele.
not listening to Adele.
I didn't say I don't listen to Adele. However, I probably couldn't quote a song of hers.
You what? You can probably quote a song of hers?
I could not.
Ah,
And she's got a great voice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the girl can belt it out. But
yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say I can,
I can. I love her songs. Not to mention, I think I also really like her too. Like she's really fun to like. If you ever seen her in an interview, she's fucking hilarious. She's really funny. So I appreciate that.
Nice.
But yeah, her and I mean, Tenacious D and Adele song. There's also so many other Maroon 5. All I'm pretty much nailing right now with Pope in chat said, haha, Hebrew with the middle school dance playlist.
Yeah.
As I just said, Maroon 5 too.
However,
yeah.
I've got 2 kids in middle school, and they don't listen to any of that junk.
But
you got the mid 2000s
I
middle school
listen
playlist.
to everything. Like that's my thing. I really have like an eclectic. If you look at my playlist, it's really eclectic. I have a little bit of everything. I love jazz. I love hip hop, R&B. I really love absolutely everything.
Yeah, my genre of choice is 90s alternative. The Foo Fighters are one of my favorite bands.
I love Foo Fighters. Yeah.
But I also love late 90s pop. Like Matchbox 20. Love me some Matchbox 20. One of the best concerts I've ever been to. Rob Thomas is just masterful. But I'm like you. I'm also eclectic. I listen to country. Love me some country music. I love classical. I love big band like the from the 20s. Sinatra. Who doesn't love Sinatra?
Sinatra, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm very similar to you in that regard.
Yeah, I will say also one of my top favorite bands is probably Guns N' Roses too. I love Guns N' Roses.
Oh heck yeah.
What was I going to say? Shoot, right before that, I was about to say something, but now I forgot. There's one genre of music, or actually 2 genres of music that I cannot listen to at all. Like I refuse to listen to it, and that is country and screamo. I cannot do country and screamo at all.
I don't like current newer country, but Garth Brooks and Dunn, Tim McGraw, some of that 90s country rejuvenation, so good. It's so good.
Can't handle that at all. I just can't do it. I hate all country.
I'm not a fan of early country because you know what happens when you play country music songs backwards, right?
You die?
No.
What?
You get back your beer, you get back your dog, and you get back your girl.
Oh yeah, that's good. I haven't heard that before, but yeah, that's funny.
And look, I hey, but I grew up in the country, so liking country music, but if you like Guns N' Roses and kind of that genre style, you should check out Seven Mary 3 if you've never heard them.
I have never heard of them, so yeah, I'll give them a listen. Are they country? Or are you trying to segue?
No. I just said Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure that this wasn't like this is a country. It kind of sounns like Guns N' Roses, but it's a country version.
No.
Like, I just want to make sure it wasn't that.
No. Seven Mary 3 is not that.
Yeah, I'll listen.
So, and with that is our Q&A section of the week. It may be that time of day, Hebrew, but before we let our good friends go, why don't you let them know who you farming, man?
So for me, I am farming Cree 100%. All of my refreshes, my daily refreshes, they go to just farming the shards. So I'm not really progressing at all gear wise, like very minimally. That's just coming from occasionally in the raid store when I'm not farming Ronin and Oracle from there. Or I should say whenever they're not up, because I'm always trying to farm them. But yeah, so not really gaining progress in the gear department, but yeah, definitely just trying to do shards, get them up as fast as possible. I want to make sure that I get Kree. I'm sorry, that I get 6-star shield. So I need that Nick Fury. So I don't my Kree up, and then also, of course, now luckily that also means that I'm going to have a really good Kree team along with it whenever Kree gets their rework. So just doing that. What about you?
Well, I'm still slow farming, obviously, the defenders, because I don't like paying cores to refresh nodes. So, I'm on that long, slow train for Iron Fist and Punisher to get them to 300. I'm about halfway there, though. Yeah. Other than that, I hit my daily still of, Miss Marvel, Groot. But I have, like I said earlier, I switched from AIM and I am focused pretty much on Kree. So, I'm hitting those Kree nodes. So I hit Noble twice, Cyborg, Reaper, and just trying to get them all, to a decent point. I highly doubt I'll hit 6 for Fury when he comes back. But I'll at least be able to unlock him at this point. So, that's kind of where I'm at. And other than that, I'm working on gear. I want to get my defenders all up to T11, and then just kind of be able to shelve them and say they're done. They're so done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Nice, very nice.
Yep, absolutely. So, before we say goodbye, was there anything else you wanted to say this week?
Nope, that pretty much does it for me. Just, thanks to all the patrons, and thanks for everyone that dropped by live. We always appreciate it. And, we were definitely a little more negative this episode, but yeah, just keep that in mind whenever you're making your criticisms. We're just trying to be objective.
Right. It's not negativity, it's realism.
Exactly.
But hey, we were positive too. I think it kind of balanced out. It's just it's easier to be negative.
And I get it. That's easy. The bad things always stick out in your head more. But there was definitely we were being positive on a good bit of it. But yeah,
I thought so. So we, like Hebrew said, we do want to thank you for listening to the Ravager Report. If you'd like to become a part of our active and interactive community, you can do so at our Discord channel at discord.me/Ravager Report. Please remember that is a URL, not a Discord invite. If you'd like to send us an email, you can email us at theravagerreport@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at RavagerRepo. If you do like what you hear and would like to help support our show, you can join our patrons at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we have subscription levels ranging from $2 all the way to $20. We want to send out a great big thank you to all our patrons and let you know that we appreciate your continued support. And, we just can't say enough about it. So thank you, everybody that does support the show. And thank you for everybody that, just listens and gives us feedback. It's the only way we get better. So until next week, keep fighting, true believers.